Welcome to the Obsessed With podcast. We are your hosts, Kim and Aaron. We've been together since 2007, and we are the co-founders of Travsessed.
And we've also been full-time travelers since 2012.
That's right, crazy.
Which is insane. Join us here as we pull back the curtain with fun, juicy, and honest conversations. We're gonna dive into all the things that you might be navigating too, like figuring out how to add more travel and adventure into your life, which PS, this is our specialty, navigating big transitions, relationships and marriage, deciding whether or not kids fit into the picture in your 40s, and most importantly, how to create a life of freedom on your own terms.
Consider this podcast your official permission slip to unapologetically do life your way and be able to change your mind a million times along the way and know that you are not alone.
Our goal with this podcast is to create a fun, zero judgment, happy hour style space where we can all just hang out, have real conversations, and navigate all the life things together.
So grab a drink, settle in, and let the obsession begin.
Woo!
Welcome to the Obsessed With podcast. Happy Thursday. We are back on the mic. Lots going on.
So I just got home from getting my hair done.
Whoop, whoop. Looks absolutely fantastic.
Thanks. You said I look like a blonde princess with an hourglass figure.
Well, you said half of that. I said the other half, yeah. I said you looked absolutely amazing and I loved your color. And you said, would you consider me a blonde princess? And I said, yes.
So you agreed.
I agreed,
and you said my waist looks really small.
Yeah, and I said you look great.
Like an hourglass.
Yeah, you look great.
Thank you.
So that's why I said half of it. Your words were the other, which then I agreed upon.
Yeah, I gave adjectives to what you were describing.
Yeah, because I don't think blonde princess would ever be an adjective I would use to describe.
Listen, it feels so good to get your hair done after traveling for so long. Like,
I agree.
It really, because, especially like being in the sun and the salt and the chlor, like my hair was so brassy and it just felt like it was like, I don't know, like
dingy.
Yeah. And like the ends were all split. So to just go and I got lightened up and I got a cut and just something so small like that, you just feel so much better.
Well, no. And I
love my girl Bree. She's the best.
I literally went into a whole conversation with my hair person because What?
Your hair person? You go to freaking Lady Jane's.
Yeah, men's grooming.
Okay.
Or I go to Scotch and Scissors.
Okay.
And why do I do that?
Because you like the massages.
The pampering.
Yeah.
I like the hot towel and I like the straight edge razor shave and I like the head massages and like I go, it's almost like a spa thing for me. And I was talking to the girl doing my hair and I was just like, I love everything about it. So I'm not a guy that wants to pop into like a sport or not a sports clips because they actually do that too. But just what are they called? Great clips or something like that, where they just cut your hair and you're gone. And I would never pay for just a haircut. Like I want to find the whole pampering experience because I actually really enjoy it too.
Yeah, you used to. I feel like you've gotten super bougie over the last 2 years.
It seems to be the theme.
Yeah. Every year you get a little more bougie and your bouginess rubs off on me.
Yeah.
And then I get a little more bougie.
Well, it rubs off on you or you connect with it?
I connect. I've always been bougie about my hair though. That is the one thing. Like even when we were broke AF, living in Florida, both working full time, literally had no money, which is funny to look back of like, I used to get like blonde foils, which girls listening, like foils are way more, they're higher maintenance than like a balayage, which I get now because it doesn't go up to the root. But at the time I was getting foils every 6 weeks or your roots would come in. And like back then you didn't want roots, like it wasn't a thing. Now it's cool. And I would go and get that. It was like $100, which
160.
Okay.
180.
First of all, it was around $100 plus tip. Okay. Which is expensive. That was very expensive for us back then because we literally had no money. But now
I wish you paid that now.
That's what I mean. I'm like, I used to think that was expensive. Now it's like $400, like hands down. on the cheaper end of things. I'm like, that's insane how much hair maintenance has gotten like so expensive. But I was thinking like, no matter, even though we had no money, I never skipped a hair appointment. I was like, sorry, this is priority. I would like leave work early. I'd always schedule it on like a Friday so I could like leave work early and go down and get my hair done. So I was like taking off work, so losing money plus getting my hair done. And I love the girl.
Irate.
What?
I used to be irate.
Why?
Remember we'd have long, like, how can you cut this? Like, and you're like, I'm never cutting it.
I can't. I always went to the same girl. I've always been like super okay, that's not the right word. High maintenance. I've been very specific with like who does my hair. I'm never going to go to some cheap ass place. And like, I've always been like I'm willing to pay a little bit more to have good quality and to like my hair. That's always been important to me, even when we had $0.
Mm-hmm.
Zero. Like, we don't have any money for groceries, but sorry, it's 6 weeks. I got to go get my hair done. What a nightmare it was.
No, but I mean, to be honest with you, I was just thinking while you were talking, and you kind of set that ground rule from beginning. And you were like, listen, this is something that I can compromise on, like buying things, or I'm not going to buy purses and I'm not going to buy outfits just randomly. Like, but I will get my hair done every 6 weeks. And if we can't make that happen, like it's a requirement.
I think I love that you brought that up, because I was just thinking that is, I've never been somebody who spent a lot of money on like purses or clothes or shoes. Like, I've just never been that girl, although like I do like cute outfits and I do need some, by the way.
Well, workout clothes, you go crazy.
I feel like I have no cute like summer outfits. So We're going to need, okay. But in general, I don't spend a whole lot of money on clothes and stuff. I've always been the girl who spends a lot of money. Where my money goes for that budget is hair and skincare and potions.
Oh God.
You know?
That's it's a new potion every month.
Excuse me. What do you mean? We've literally do the same potions every single, what's new? The mushroom coffee? Oh, I should have made some for the,
and
we can pause so I can make a cup for the podcast. I need it. That's fine. Okay, what else is new?
We have new pills in the morning.
I did get us some special pills, which we'll get into.
I feel like, there's, if it's not, now you're off melatonin, but then there's the ashwagandha gummies, and then there's, and
that's all standard.
I mean, the amount of, and I mean, the aminos, the creatine, the protein powder, the greens, there's a new Amazon box showing up, which I'm not saying because I partake in that as well.
I was just going to say.
And then it's also like, but I do feel like you have some new skin thing that you heard on a podcast that now you put on at night, or your sister told you about it, that you have to try, or you go on these trips and somebody suggests something and then you come home and you order a whole new like thing.
Yeah, the girls are trouble because I get all the insight and intel of the things that I need for all this.
So I am right.
No, but you and I together collectively do protein powder, aminos, creatine. Like, we've done that for so long. And with both of us doing it, we go through it so fast. I was talking to my sister about that. Of like, it's insane because she and her husband also protein powder, creatine, aminos, all of those like workout things. And they work out like every day, And so she's like, we go through this so fast because we're both doing it. And it's so expensive that you're spending you feel like you're spending so much money every month on just that because we fly through it. I mean, we work out pretty much every day.
No, I know. And
I have protein powder every single day in the morning.
I do too.
So yeah, you just fly through.
Sometimes twice in the morning.
Yeah. So that's all the Amazon boxes.
All right.
Anyhow.
Okay.
Tangent. Yeah. But my hair is looking good.
It does. I like that length.
It's the same length. The length hasn't changed.
Okay, you just got done cutting it really short, which you didn't like.
Yeah.
And then now it's grown out to a little longer than shoulder width. And I like...
Shoulder width.
Or shoulder length.
Yeah.
I like that. You said you want it longer. I don't want it longer.
We're growing it a little longer. Okay. So I can do a cute braid for Peru. Okay. So speaking of Peru, I guess segue into... So we were talking about like, okay, like what do we want to talk about on the podcast? Blah, blah, blah. We were going through some different topics, like on different things. And we were both like, I don't know. Like we just like weren't feeling it. And so we're like, okay, let's kind of talk about a couple of things that are going on right now in our life and just share about that and like interweave it with insight, basically. Right?
Or insight that we don't have. Yeah.
Yeah. Like our insight that literally no one gives a fuck about.
Yeah, basically.
Our 2 cents.
Yeah.
So we'll start with.
I would put it as more of our reason behind doing it.
Okay.
Right?
And thoughts.
It's not really insight or you should do it too. It's almost like this is our reasoning behind doing it.
Well, and I do want to say, you know, because when we switched over to the Obsessed with podcast from Travsessed, and then we had all of these topics that we wanted to do, where like Tuesdays were going to be travel related specifically, which we're still going to do. Like we're just getting our footing back, you know, like we've been gone for 3 months. So we're just kind of coming back to reorganize and get back on track with everything. So we will come back to the Tuesdays, and then Thursdays were always going to be some topic that had to do something to do with like life, but you know, whatever, something specific. And then when we were like going through the topics, it's like there's so much that I want to like talk about and share about, but then I also like hate listening to shit like podcast stuff where people are like just going teaching something. I'm not interested. So my point was, so we were literally just having this conversation before we started recording and what we decided we wanted to talk about. But I feel just putting that out there, that anything, any like quote unquote topic that we share about is never, our intention is never to give advice. Like I'm not an expert in anything, like just to share our own experience of what we're doing, what's worked, our thoughts on it, our opinions. But I never want to be like, step 1, like this is what you should do for X, Y, and Z.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
No.
And I felt like we were like teetering that when we were going into the topics.
Never. And at least not to my understanding. My understanding was always like, what are some topics that we feel passionately about that we've seen in our own lives that I think need to be talked about, kind of like conversations that I would love to have with a group of people, right? Like, okay, back that up. A group of people that is willing to have a conversation, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what the topics were. And this is never a teach you podcast.
Yeah, I just want to set that record straight. I don't want to teach anything. And I really don't like listening to podcasts that are very teachy. I like when people share experiences, stories, and then it's always woven in with some kind of.
You can take something away.
Yeah, always. Whether it's just like a funny story or like it's entertaining or something you didn't think about or a tip, or there's always stuff to take away. I love that. But the podcast, like, there's certain podcasts that we've listened to that are very like, they're more business oriented, but it's very like step by step and it's just like a snooze fest. Anyway, okay. So we'll kick it off with, we talked about this last week, I guess, of teasing that we were going to be doing kind of our own version of 75 Hard. And we're on this big kind of health kick right now since we've gotten home from Bali. So we're going to talk about that a little bit and kind of what we're doing, why, and that.
Hey, real quick, we hope you're loving today's episode, and we wanted to take a moment to keep you in the loop. If you work in healthcare, or you're a healthcare traveler, or you know someone who works in healthcare and is interested in fun adventure travel, you've got to know about our Travsessed Adventure Trips. And listen, we get it. Working in healthcare can feel really demanding, overwhelming, and stressful. We spend so much time taking care of others that we forget to take care of ourselves.
So let us take care of you on a Travsessed trip. Once you sign up for a trip, we literally take care of everything. The planning, the logistics, and all the little details. So all you have to do is show up, have fun, and make unforgettable memories with a group of like-minded, adventurous travel friends. This is your time to step away from the chaos, recharge, have some fun, and come back feeling like the best version of you. Everyone who comes on a Travsessed trip says you come as strangers, leave as family. Literally. Travsessed trips have sparked dozens of new friendships, adventure squads, and travel soulmates that last way beyond the trip.
And honestly, it's not about the places we go. It's about the amazing people you meet along the way. We personally plan every itinerary based on our own travel adventures, so we have been there, done that, and know all the best things to do and see that you would not find on your own. Plus, we've got some awesome local friends on the ground to help us make each trip extra fun, special, and totally unique. Our trips are for active adventurers who like to get out of their comfort zones and push their limits. And the best part? We keep our groups small and intimate so you can form real connections like really, really fast.
So if you're ready to ditch the planning stress, find your adventure crew, and travel like never before, head over to imtravsessed.com and grab your spot on one of our next adventures.
That's imtravsessed.com.
Or you can send us a DM over on Instagram at Kim and Aaron G.
That is KIMANDERRANG.
Just DM us the word adventure and we can chat more about it. You can also find our Instagram, our website. Everything is linked in the show notes below. Also, at the time of this recording, we have 3 spots left to join us in Oaxaca, Mexico in 2025, which honestly is one of our favorite trips. Yeah. So you can head over to our website, check that out. And we also have so many more fun adventures coming your way in 2026.
We cannot wait to see you on one of our life-changing trips. Now let's dive back into the episode. Well, yeah, and I think it all, before we went on that crazy last, Oaxaca to Greece, Portland, Maine, Everest, Japan, that whole, stretch, we tried something in West Virginia. And it was nice because West Virginia didn't have a lot of restaurants that we wanted to go to. There wasn't a lot of, things to sort out other than, going for day hikes and then maybe finding some lunch. So it was really a good incubator for testing new things for health-wise. And Kim and I both, we did not drink for a couple months and we didn't go out to eat. We were cooking. What?
I was going to say, I think it was 30 days.
It started at 30 days, but then it extended because we felt so good. And so it stopped in Florida. And so we knew this big gauntlet was coming, and on our trips, it's harder to stay obviously focused and streamlined, but we noticed a huge difference within ourselves and how we felt and the way we looked. And so that was always there. But then we went through this huge stretch and then we came back to Denver. And then of course, Denver is Denver and a lot of restaurants and things we wanted to do. So now we're kind of, we had talked about it on the prior podcast of right before we left for Bali in Thailand and New Zealand, I had that whole health crisis where my blood pressure is out of whack, liver, spleen, Kim found all of that from ultrasounding, and it just kind of set into motion, I would say, fear, in my opinion, of just oh my God, what's going on? And then we're about to embark on this 3-month journey where we know things are out of control. So now that we're back, we had a lot of time to really focus and put together a plan that we wanted to continue with.
Yeah. I think being gone for 3 months, you're so out of your routine and stuff. And I would say in our normal life, quote unquote, but when we're home working, we're pretty healthy for the most part.
We've talked about that.
Yeah. Obviously there's always areas you can clean up, but I would say I'm not somebody, I don't eat a lot of fast food. We don't go out very much. We would go out on the weekend. We cook pretty healthy at home. But when we got back from Bali and after being gone for so long and, we drank so much in Bali and you just really felt I need a full on detox. And then obviously coming off of us going into the trip with all your health stuff going on. And so we were we have, I think it was 56 days from the time we started to the day we leave for Peru. And so, everyone's doing like 75 hard, right? Like you see it everywhere. It's all over the internet, 75 hard, blah, blah, blah. And I've never really thought about doing it because I'm like, that seems so extreme and I'm already pretty disciplined and healthy. Like, why am I going to do that? Like, it's so,
I agree.
Right. But then we were like, okay, we really want to do something that is challenging for us, right? Because if you're not challenged, at least for me, if I don't feel challenged, like I don't stay engaged as easy, right? Like I need something to push me, something that doesn't feel like so crazy and intense. Like I'm not working out twice a day. Like, sorry, yes, anybody can do anything they set their mind to, but like for me, no, like that's not it. I will not work out twice a day. But having movement for every day, right? Something to do every single day, whether that's a walk, an F45 workout, or own workout in the gym, just you're moving every single day. That's a challenge. Because you and I would work out like 4. Yeah. But then the other days we didn't really
do anything.
Yeah. Like maybe we'd go for a hike or something, but it wasn't something we were consciously like, we need to move every day. So like, what can we do that's challenging, but we can only do it for 56 days that pushes us, but is also something that we feel like we can really, like, that's going to be a push, but we can do it. Like sustainable. That's the most important thing to me, is sustainable. So did you want to say something?
No, you're going.
Oh, so we came up with our own version of 75 hard. And for those who don't know, 75 hard is basically, it's a program for 75 days. There's rules, right? So like you have to work out twice a day. You have to read something inspiring for, I think it's like 15 minutes or something.
Nonfiction.
Yeah, nonfiction for 15 minutes a day. Is that right?
Yeah.
15 minutes a day? And then drink a gallon of water.
And choose one of the diets.
Yeah, like a diet of your choice.
That feels like a change.
Yeah.
And also your 2 workouts, one of them has to be outside for 45 minutes and the other one can be indoors for 45 minutes.
Yeah, it has to be 45 minutes.
One of them has to be outside.
Yeah. And if you fall off in any way,
miss something, you have to journal too, don't you?
I don't think
it's journaling and or reading something inspiring.
I don't
something
know.
like that.
It's something like
that. It's like a whole rule book. But like Kim said, if you miss, like you only drank a half gallon one day of water, like you start over at day 1. Like if you miss a workout, you start over at day 1. And obviously that's a really good thing for people that are not disciplined. At all, right? I mean, it's instead of watching, Kim was like, 2 workouts is crazy. But I was like, you realize that we watch like an hour and a half of like our shows with dinner, right? So if you took one of those shows out and just went for a walk for 45 minutes, it's a lot more easier. So for people that aren't disciplined.
Yeah, but that brings me joy. I love watching
Exactly.
our
That's
show.
why I'm not saying that we should have done it. I'm just saying like for people that aren't motivated or like disciplined, like it's a really good thing for 75 days to get you like cranking. But it's also really difficult if you went from like nothing to 75 hard. Like that's crazy, right?
Well, yeah. And I think it's all relative too. I mean, realistically, if you're somebody who's you don't really live that healthy of a lifestyle, or you don't work out or whatever, to jump into 75 hard and be like, I'm going to work out twice a day when you don't even work out twice a week. Like, I don't know. It's just a little extreme. Again, I think anybody can do anything they put their mind to. I really do believe that.
And if that fuels your fancy, like that gets you excited, then yeah, go for it.
I also feel like working out once a day is a huge push and challenge.
Yeah.
Right.
Every single day.
That's a lot. I mean, there was a time when we were like, okay, we want to work out 4 to 5 days a week. That was like commitment, because, when you work a full-time job and you have other stuff going on, like working out and feeling good and being healthy and strong is super important to us. But it's hard too when you work full time. Again, I'm working from home, but you're in the hospital, you're working 10 hours a day, and then you're like and I'm going to go do an hour workout after work. Like that takes a lot of discipline too, you know, and that's only a couple days a week.
Yeah.
So anyways, the point of doing it every single day was for us a big push, right?
Totally.
So that's the kind of what 75 hard is. So then our version of it, we're doing 56 medium. So that's what we're calling it. Who are we just talking to? Oh, I was talking to Bree, my hair girl. We were talking about it. And I just said 56 medium. She's like, did you guys make that name up? And I was like, yeah. She's like, that's amazing. It's like so good, right?
Coined.
So what we're doing is no alcohol.
Amazing.
I'm like, there's nothing in me that wants alcohol.
No, I want no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
We drank enough alcohol in Bali, I think, to last
for a
the
lifetime.
year. Yeah. And then no sugar.
Added sugar.
And so we still eat fruit. Like this is more no like desserts. Like we're not gonna, cookies or get gelato
or gummies
or Aaron with your freaking bag of gummies you'd have like every night. Like
every night, babe.
No, but multiple times. Like
definitely multiple times a week.
The hair bow, whatever. Is that what they're called? The hair bow?
Yeah.
You freaking love those gummies.
Until I got turned on to the new nerd clusters.
Thanks, Megan, if you're listening.
No, I was onto those before. Megan just happens to have those every time.
Always has a pack of nerds gummies.
The best, dude.
They are really good. I will give them that. So no sugar besides like fruit, right? So we're not having treats. And then for a gallon of water a day, which I feel like we always try to drink a lot of water, but I already pee so much.
Oh my God.
And it's funny because you were always like, oh, like I'm so hydrated. I drink so much water. But like would never pee.
That's been interesting because even Kim would be like, you drink so much. And I would make sure to have 3 to 4 of my things a day, but I realized I don't think I really was. And I always thought that I had a big bladder that I would just be able to hold it. But and again, we're doing a gallon, but like we're also not doing any sort of diet soda, which we used to enjoy every night. I will, but every night for dinner. And then after dinner, I would have another one, right? Because it was like my wind down. So I haven't had any. So it's just basically water. And so because of that, I peed 12 times yesterday. I've been peeing so much that I literally did research on how much a healthy adult male should be peeing during the day before it becomes a problem. Who drinks a gallon of water? How much should I be peeing?
Yeah.
And I was at 12 and it said, if you're in the gallon club, over 10 is acceptable.
I just think it's hilarious because you always everyone knows like I pee so much and you never would. Like we would be on an airplane for like 8 hours. You wouldn't go to the bathroom once. And I'm like, that's not healthy. Like, are you okay? And you're like, oh yeah, I'm so hydrated. I drink so much water. But now that you're actually drinking the water and you're not drinking all the other stuff, you are in that bathroom just as much as I am. We're like fighting over the toilet of who can pee faster. And I love it so much.
I've been getting up 2 times a night to pee. And it's like fierce. Like I'm about to go in my pants.
I know.
But I will say too, and I think what's weird is like, what I noticed is a lot of times I rush in when the time frames that we're in Florida and we're only there for a certain amount of time. And I think right before we started this whole journey, I went and did some doctor's appointments. And so after all the traveling and the craziness, I would rush in and get my blood work done. And it always came back that like my kidney function was off. Mm-hmm. It wasn't alarming. It was off. And they were like, this mixed with this shows that you're severely dehydrated. And I'm like, well, it's because I just got off a plane for 12, 24 hours. Like, of course I'm dehydrated. I'm swollen, like blah, blah, blah. But like really thinking about that and then feeling like I did drink a lot of water, realizing the majority of people don't drink enough water.
No. And you would always say that too, but you drank so much soda. And like, and so compared to water, right? And so we would like go out to lunch or something, and you would have because you always have to get the freaking extra large, like supersize it every time.
Yeah.
Okay. So you'd have this massive cup, like 44 ounces.
32.
Oh, sorry. 32 ounces. You would throw a Diet Pop in there, maybe a Dr. Pep, maybe a Diet Pepsi, depending on your vibe. You would chug that shit. You would get another refill, chug that shit, and then you would get another one to go in a matter of like less than 30 minutes. Like I've never seen someone chug pop. Like you always were packing a big gulp with a pop in it. And then you'd have it before dinner. Like you drink so much soda. And even like because you do iced coffee, you like, there would be times that you would just be sitting drinking your like iced coffee at 5 p.m. And I'm like, what are you like, what? But so I don't know if that had something to do with it too, because we were just talking about it this morning, which I don't know the answer to, but like they say coffee is a diuretic. So it makes you pee so much, which it does. Like when I have coffee in the morning, I have to pee so much more, but then it also dehydrates you. So I don't even know what that means or how that works, but I think soda is the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's like, no, that's not true because you weren't peeing, right? You were never peeing.
Exactly.
Okay.
But that's what we were talking about. Like coffee and soda, diet soda or whatever, is a diuretic.
Is it? No, because you weren't
tea
peeing
is a
at
diuretic.
all. Yeah. No, I don't think soda is. Coffee is.
Coffee is.
Yeah, but you were drinking
I still
so
wasn't
much
peeing.
soda that you just didn't have room for the water. So you were so dehydrated.
True.
Right? So, and then I got into a pop kick.
Mm-hmm.
Remember? Because
every night you'd have one.
I was hitting it hard, dude. Because I used to drink soda, like I'd have it once in a while. We'd go out as a treat or something. But then I started really hitting it where we would always have Diet Pepsis in the refrigerator, like at all times. Like if we opened the fridge and there wasn't one, it would be like panic from like both of us. And I was doing like a half a pop with lunch and a half with dinner.
Whoa.
Which for me though, a soda every day, I never used to do that. So, and then when we're traveling, we live on Coke Light or Coke Zero because they don't have real diet. They have Coke Zero.
If you're in South America, it's Coke Light. If you're in Bali, it's Coke Zero.
Coke Zero. And that's like our fuel. It gives you energy. It brings
soothes
you
your stomach.
It
handles nausea.
Heals.
100 hangovers gone.
Heals.
Yeah.
So we basically live on Coke Zeros the whole time we're traveling. So that's another part of what we're doing, zero soda. Which I really want to say I'm so proud of you. Because for you, your soda was like
my treat.
Yeah. And it was a comfort. And it was something like you always had. And we're on God, I'm so freaking pissed off that we didn't do the Post-it thing and like count down because I don't know exactly what day we're on.
It's easy to figure out.
Okay. Well, let's do that.
I'm not going to do it now.
No, I know. I'm saying, but like, let's do that because I want to know a day. But I think we're probably day 13 or 14. We've been doing this
2 weeks. Yeah.
And you haven't had any pop. And
God, you said it so many times, and I've just cringed every time.
It's such a fun word to say, though.
I know because I cringe.
Pop. But not even the cringing. I'm not even doing it to mess with you. I just like to say it now.
And now I've gotten used to it, especially with the amount of
lovely
Midwesterners that come on our trips. So,
like Megan, give me a pop.
Oh my God, the piep corn. You know what I got in my room is some piepcorn. And I was like, piepcorn?
I can't.
What did you just say?
Freaking
piepcorn.
Midwesterners. They're great.
And she's from Detroit.
Michigan. I consider that Midwest.
Well, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Midwest, like at its finest. That's like Bobby's world, don't you know?
Minnesota.
Oh, that's right. Aren't they neighboring states?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like so close.
Okay.
It's all the same. Flyover states.
Oh, wow.
I'm just kidding. Listen, I had my first contract ever was in Wisconsin. I loved that contract.
Yeah.
Love Wisconsiners.
Yeah.
Wisconsinites. Cheeseheads.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Rock on.
Okay, so no soda. And anything, what else are we doing? Anything else? I said, and then one workout a day. Any movement, but work. So we're considering movement. So we do F45 in the morning, like 4 days a week.
5.
4 to 5 days a week. But then we also have a great gym at our apartment. So we've also been lifting, which I always feel my best when I'm doing weight lift. Like I love that. We do that a lot in F45
I was about to say, what workouts do you go to?
No, we do. But I also like just going to our own gym and doing like a quick lifting circuit with some abs. So we've been doing that. And then, but also considering just walking. So tomorrow we're not going to F45 in the morning, but when Aaron gets home from work, we'll go have a long walk. And we're considering that movement. It's just some kind of movement every day.
Totally. And there was 2 days we didn't go to F45 because we went for 7 6-mile hikes.
Exactly.
Which count as well.
Right.
Obviously.
Right. So just movement of any kind, but it has to be every day. So even if we don't want to, which that one day we literally just walked up to Midas because our car was getting fixed. I don't know if it was probably like
that would have been a restart day.
A mile.
2 miles total because we had to walk back.
No, I think a half mile there, a half mile back.
Oh. Well, can we exaggerate? Nobody knows where we live in Midas.
But
it was like 4 miles uphill both ways that we ran. Yeah.
I know. I'm just trying to be transparent of but we contemplated. We're like, we felt fine of no, this felt good. We moved, we got outside. It felt good, but we didn't really feel like doing anything else that day. And so that's our criteria.
Well, also we're not doing any complex carbs at night.
Oh, our diet. We didn't even talk about that.
Right.
Do you want to talk about that? Okay. Okay. So because
you pretty much do all the cooking now.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I made burglars last night.
I really do feel like we have a good partnership with cooking. Like I cook when you're at work. You work 4 days a week right now. Like I cook every night, basically, when you're at work, but you cook a lot on the weekend and stuff. And honestly, even tonight, you're making the fajitas. So.
Wait, what? No. Whatever happened to my fuck off day? It never exists.
We're gonna have a fuck off day all day, every day.
I love that your fuck off day is literally but you still have things to do.
The only thing we needed to do is record the podcast. You took a bath. Yeah, you sat on your swing.
It's a great day.
You played with your pug.
I mean, there was literally...
Listen to a podcast.
You sent me hey, you should have a fuck off day when I was in the bath, when you were on your way home.
Yeah.
And then since you've been home, I have agendas.
Well, let's be factual. So I came home. You were sitting on your swing and you were going down rabbit holes of all these things that you were looking at, right? And researching. And I said, do you want me to leave you alone so you can just have your own time? And you said, no, I want to talk to you. So you could have sat out there. You could have done the whole thing. So I came outside. We started talking. We got into this whole conversation about something. Okay. And then we went back and forth about today's Wednesday, we're recording the podcast. The podcast comes out Thursday. So it was something that we left for today because we didn't have any other time to do it. And I said, we don't have to do the podcast. It's up to you. So we either go do it or continue to fuck off. And you wanted to do it. So therefore, your fuck off day had nothing to do with me intervening with it. So I would just like to throw that out there.
I'm just saying, since you just included in this podcast that now I'm cooking dinner tonight.
That was a joke, but not really. You are cut the chicken though.
I'll cut the chicken and grill it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You're sidetracking me from our diet. So the goal is we're prioritizing protein, which I feel like is so freaking cliche. Everybody's protein. Everybody's just freaking Popeye. Yeah. But it is really important because it's very filling. Mm-hmm. I haven't been eating as much because I've been scaling back my calories, which I'll talk about in a second. But because I'm having so much protein and being conscious of it, I'm not that hungry. It's very satiating. And then also for building muscle, especially when you want to lose weight, which we do, you're not losing muscle, you're losing fat. So prioritizing protein is really important. So basically we're just wanting to eat super clean, like how we normally do, but without exception, like without cheats, without, eliminating basically as much processed stuff as we can and really sticking to high protein meats, veg, fruits, eliminating like simple carbs. So getting rid of, bread. Like last night I had a buffalo burger, but without a bun.
But I did.
You did. Yeah.
But I had yeah.
And so you can, it's like you can kind of.
I didn't have a bun, but.
You had the Dave's Killer Bread, those little pieces of bread. And again, instead of a huge brioche bun, right? So it's like, but yeah, eliminating carbs and as much as we can. But I mean, like simple carbs, like bread and stuff, like silly, like sweet potatoes and things like that. So yeah, that's aiming to get like 150 grams of protein a day for me. And just eating as clean as possible. Now, I did, and we're like, no cheats. Because that's the thing is like you and I will eat pretty healthy, but then we go freaking ham on the weekend.
Well, I can't wait for you to say this.
What?
I keep going. I know where you're going.
What am I going?
Go ahead.
Where am I going?
Keep going.
I don't know where you think I'm going.
Oh, keep going.
I don't know where.
I know where.
Okay.
You said I did, and then you cut off. You were talking about cheats.
Oh, Cheez-Its.
Yeah.
Okay, because we said we're not going to, hold on, let me just finish this thought. Because we do really, really well. There's a couple of things. We do really well. We eat really clean during the week, but then on the weekends we'll go and like go out to eat and have drinks or go to a brewery, whatever.
Excuse me.
So with this challenge we're doing, which ends up being about 7 weeks before Peru, the goal is to do none of that, right? Like be super healthy and strict without any cheats, without any of the added stuff, right? No, whatever. Which is something that we don't really do because we always have some, like a cheat. That was the goal. I want to circle back to that in a second because I have something else to say about it. But yesterday I did have a cheat. I had 2 servings of extra toasted Cheez-Its.
Yep. You were the first to fold. I would have put my money that it would have been me.
Well, I feel like you've cheated.
With what?
Bread.
Oh, come on,
so,
dude.
Technically.
Okay. Wow. You were.
And here's the thing. You're right. You're right. You were right. And you should never have that kind of stuff in your cabinet. Like I would never have gone and got that, right? But when we got home from our trip, we had a day. Oh, it's like my favorite days in the world.
I really want that day now.
Oh, it's the best day. And we order pizza and we get snacks and we watch Netflix and it's like a dirty, nasty, just freaking bender, man. We have like crumbs all over us. We smell like puke from like the
cheese.
Yeah. It's like the best day
Caesar
ever.
salad, garlic knots,
soda pop,
sodas.
Just out of control.
Oh, yeah.
Like we just give ourselves a full day to go absolutely out of control.
Cheez-Its, gelato. Yeah.
So that's why in our cupboard, we still had Cheez-Its from that day. Mm-hmm. And I was like, you know what? I really, really want it. And it sounds really good. But I had 2 servings. So I don't even do that. I just will eat as much as I want. I had 2 servings. It was 375 calories for what I had. And it was absolutely delicious and I enjoyed every second of it.
Perfect.
That being said, I'm counting my calories right now. And that's not something I normally do. Like we've talked about this before. So I included the Cheez-Its in, and then I took some other stuff. So if you notice last night, I didn't have my bowl of cherries. We usually at post dinner, I have a bowl of cherries. You have your grapes. I didn't have that because I had to balance out. I chose to have the Cheez-Its. So I had to balance out other things that I normally might have had. Right. So it's all about that. But the reason that I'm doing that is, so this is part reset, really focusing on our health, being in the best shape, feeling strong, especially going into Peru. Like we like really just want to prioritize our health right now and just like feel our best, especially after where you were with your health and just like feeling really good. That's the most important thing to us. But then also it's kind of an experiment, more for me than you.
Mm-hmm.
But I've talked about this so many times, but I've had 10 pounds that I've been wanting to lose for, I feel
years.
Like it's literally been years. It feels that way. And I haven't been able to like kick it. So where I used to weigh was my normal, I've gone up 10 pounds and that's been my normal. And it feels like no matter what I do, I can't kick it. So as my experiment for 7 weeks for this whole time, I want to be very strict. I'm not going to have any cheats. I'm going to stick to what we're doing to a T. And at the end of those 7 weeks, if I have not been able to lose the weight in any kind of a way, then I know now that it has to be something like hormonal, something else is going on because there's really no other explanation. Like I'm counting my calories to be under so I can lose weight. I'm eating all the protein. I'm eating super healthy, no alcohol. Like I'm really doing everything right. And so that's why I want to be super, super strict during this time because I want to look at it at the end and evaluate and be like, okay, like either I'm like, hell yeah, it worked. And now I can just like maintain going forward. Or I can say like, I need to go get some more tests or something because there's clearly something else going on hormonally. So that's kind of how I'm using it. So my goal is reset, feel super healthy, strong, build some muscle and lose 10 pounds. What's your goals or like what's your like MO and going into it?
Well, I mean, obviously like I'm currently on blood pressure and cholesterol medicine now. I've been taking that on a regular. For me, it's like the hydration with the kidneys. I'm really anxious to go get blood work done and see the improvements based off of. So my thing is to improve metabolically.
Okay.
So like blood work improvement, and then also just kind of get to a healthier place. I mean, I was 226, maybe. I mean, I could have been more.
Yeah.
I could have been approaching 230.
Yeah.
Which for me, like what Kim was saying, 212 used to be my weight. Like, oop, I've been eating a lot, need to cut back. And then I would drop down to like 205 and I would sit there. Now I've just been sitting at 220s my weight. And then now we got back from this trip and I was like 226 or higher. Because Kim and I started 5 days in and then Kim bought one of those Hume scales, like HUME. And it's one of those total body, like literally breaks down everything, like your fat percentage and your water weight. And I mean, it's insane. Go ahead.
I was going to say, my sister told me about this scale. I feel like all my vices come from her because she knows she's got the insight in all the things. So she's like, you guys have to get this scale because it's like, I'm not somebody, and I don't really feel like you are either. Like, we're not people who just always are weighing ourselves, like obsessed with the weight, right? Like, because your weight fluctuates so much, whether it's water weight or poop or muscle or whatever. So it's like, we don't fixate it on that much. But then when you do get on a scale, why did we have to get on a scale? Oh, you did for your job.
Yeah.
Why? And then it's like alarming, right? But like, I already knew I was uncomfortable in my body. But anyways, so we're not huge scale people, but she was like, you have to get it. It connects to an app. And she said that it's 90, as close to being accurate as like a DEXA scan. I don't know how that's possible.
I don't either.
But you hook it up to an app and then it tells you your weight, but it tells you like your muscle mass, your lean body mass, your fat percentage, your metabolic age. Like it tells you all of this like really great information, not just how much you weigh.
No, and I mean, this thing is like you step on the scale, then it has a handle that you hold. You got to hold it at waist height and it does like this full scan, right?
Yeah.
Heart rate, I mean, everything, right? And so with that being said, I'm never just going to step on a scale and be like 224. Yay. Like this was kind of the only reason that I think we got it was that's exciting to me because you can, I mean, there's apps now that will literally have you turn every quarter and take a picture of you and then evaluate you and then tell you like what your fat percentage is. And like, so you can actually see if you're gaining muscle or losing fat, which is what I want to know. I don't honestly care about the weight number. There is something very rewarding to getting on the scale after doing this and seeing the numbers drop. I'm not going to lie about that.
Of course.
But I've never been a huge connector of like, oh, that defines me, because of the fact that I've always been, you can't find any fat on me except my stomach.
Well, so this was funny.
Yeah.
Because you, first of all, like, I don't know why it's so freaking annoying with you, because what, like, we're like, okay, we want to lose some weight, blah, blah. You literally, the next day, you've lost 5 pounds. It's like, you did nothing.
That's a male I mean, you could literally post that on Instagram with a meme.
Yeah, I know.
Which there's millions of them. And like, it's relatable because it's just hands down the way it is.
It's so frustrating because I feel like I'll even be more strict. Like, I'm more strict than you. I'm, you know, like, I'm kind of like going above and beyond, and you're like, you're doing it, but you're not even like thinking as much about it. And then you just like drop so quickly. And yeah, it's just like a male thing, but our like schedule is we're going to weigh in every Sunday. And to be able to see like, okay, has our muscle, because also for me, like, I really want to build some muscle. Like, I'm lifting heavier in the gym. Like, that's something I really want to like work on. So is the muscle going up? Is the weight going down? Whatever. And so every Sunday we're going to weigh in once a week, because you can also like, you don't want to get on it every day, and like see what the results are. So Sunday, it was a weekend, this Sunday. Let's weigh in. Let's get all the, you know, what's going on. Like, let's get all of our measurements. I literally gained 0.2. Okay. After being so like strict, you lost 4 pounds. And I was just like, okay, cool. I also was on my period. So I'm, you know, I'm interested to see this Sunday, but I did think it was funny that you have 0 fat on you. Like, your arms, no fat. Like, just, you can pull like fat from my arm. Like, you know, like, it's like jiggle wiggle, like you can see it. You have 0 fat on your arm, 0 fat on your legs, 0 fat on your ass. It's literally just your stomach. Like, that's where you gain weight. And the scale told you that your arm had a higher fat percentage than your stomach. And I was like, okay, this is bullshit, dude.
Yeah.
Right?
No,
like, your right arm was like overweight.
But I wonder, because, okay, this sounds crazy, but I'm wondering if the way I was reading that, it was going off of like muscle mass, right? Versus fat. Mm-hmm. And so like, there are abs under there. Like, I do have a very strong core. So if you're looking at the amount of range it's covering, mm-hmm. maybe the percentages are saying that my arm, but there's 0 fat on my arm. I can't pinch anything.
Yeah.
Like, nowhere around my arm can I pinch anything.
Just all muscle, baby.
So then my stomach, I could make into shapes, you know, like.
Like a balloon animal?
I mean, yeah. like last night, I sat down on the toilet because I woke up and I looked down and I literally looked like my para-patients that sit down.
Oh my.
And I'm like, I actually had a moment where I was like, do I need to go get scanned for fluid?
Okay. You are so dramatic.
It was humongous. Okay. I mean, you've seen those reels. Babe. Like,
well,
like Santa Claus is coming to town, like the real guy.
Here's the thing. You talk about that a lot.
I'm putting it on the universe in my fat ass stomach. Like,
that's not even what I was going to say.
Like,
okay. I was going to say that you are so strong and so healthy, and like, literally, it's crazy that you have no fat anywhere. Like, again, because I'm a woman, like I, have extra fat on my legs, on my arms, on my everywhere, right? Like, and I'm also like very strong, and like I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying compared to you, you literally are in such great shape. You're so freaking strong. Like our coach today at the gym told you should be competing in this like competition, like that they do, the Hydrox competition, which you should look, anyone listening, like that shit's crazy.
Hydrox,
look it up.
Hydrox. Holy shit.
We did like a Hydrox workout this morning, and it was like a partner thing, and it was so hard.
Yeah.
So it was so hard. I think the hardest workout we've ever done. Like we were both just drenched in sweat, like crawling. Like it was so crazy. And she's like, oh, like to you, like you should compete. Like you're a beast.
Well, and the funny thing about that is I felt horrible. I had a bad night last night.
Yeah.
I was up all night, and then I knew it was a Hydrox workout, and I overheard them talking about a partner workout, and we had already signed up, and I wanted to go, and like I didn't want to leave you stranded because I knew you were going. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, I'll just do it. So it is morally inflating to feel like crap, and then the coach says you should join our team competition in Anaheim and go do this competition with us. And I was like, wow, if I would have felt good, I wonder how well I would have done.
Yeah. Exactly.
But I'm obsessed with Hydrox now. It's like my new obsession.
I am not obsessed. That shit was so hard. But I think that would be such a cool competition for you. I think you would crush. Like that was getting to my point, is that you are so strong and so muscular. I mean, it's ridiculous. Everywhere we go, I swear to God, like a random stranger's like, oh, like you're so fit. Like it's always a dude saying it too. And it's like, nobody says that shit to me. No one's like, oh, you're so fit. Like nothing. But for you, like people just say that to you. It's like, I guess because your arms are like so solid and like muscular. But the fact that like you hold weight in your tummy and like, you drop fast, you know what you have to do. Like that's like, don't beat yourself up or like pick apart. Oh, I looked big in this video. Like who, like, I get like, regardless, you still want to like lose the weight. Like I totally get, like, that's how I feel. But focusing on the fact how strong and powerful you are, and that you know how quickly you do the right things, that weight is going to fall off so fast, because it always does.
I'm glad you led into that, because what I realized is like the amount of work it takes that I can get down to, and I know I can, but then how fast I allow it to come back on. And I think that's my new focus. Mm-hmm. If we're talking about what is your focus, because Kim and I have had countless conversations, even when we started our fitness business and we were personal trainers. I was like, it's kind of weird because personal trainers are I don't know. I think it's bullshit, to be honest with you. But like the good personal trainers, it's kind of like the additive of like, you should never trust a skinny chef, like, right? But personal trainers, they got to be just jacked and like whatever. I don't know. I think it's relatable to be like, I'm strong, I could run, I have endurance, I'm however old, and I might have some body fat, but like, so does majority of people, right? So like, I've never agreed with that, but it led to a lot of conversations. And even now going into this, Kim and I have always said, I'm never going to be like measuring my chicken, which is funny that I just said that, because what did you buy yesterday? A food scale. Well, can I just finish my thought and then?
Yeah.
And then I'm never going to be a can of tuna plain with like boiled chicken just to have a six pack. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not worth it to me. I like breweries. I like going for hikes. My goal is to be able to like run a hike if I needed to, knowing that like I'm strong enough and have enough endurance to do that at 42 years old and beyond, and still enjoy life. Wine, the occasional brewery. I think sweets, I've never been a big sweets person, and like I've allowed myself to like kind of indulge in that. I don't know why, but now that I've given it up, I really have zero desire for any sort of gummy candies or anything like that, even ice cream. Like, I don't really care.
Well, because you always feel like freaking dog shit after every time.
Totally.
We're like, let's get some gelato. And then we do. And then we're both like throwing up because we feel so bad.
So my ultimate goal is, again, like to lower my blood work, to be the healthiest version of myself that I can be. I want to be stronger. And I would like to eliminate this belly fat and see what happens with my blood work.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like, well, going back to the scale too, real quick, I think I've said I'm not someone who's like measured food or counted calories. I just like eat clean and work out. That's kind of been my motto. And I cheat here and there and whatever, like with meals. And so I got a scale, a food scale, because I'm wanting to get more, because I'm like, I must be eating way more than what I think. Because even though I eat pretty clean for the most part, I gotta be eating more because I'm not losing weight.
What's your average calories per day? Like that you...
Now?
No, like...
I never counted calories.
Well, when
so
you were
no clue.
counting, I think you've restricted even more on this one, right?
So in West Virginia, I did this a little bit and I was like 2,000 calories a day. So it says, ChatGPT, the wizard who does everything, basically says that to maintain my weight is like between 2,000 and 2,200 calories a day.
With your activity level.
That's what it says. I said I do at 45 a couple days a week. I don't know. That's what it says. I think I included my activity level. Maybe
you
I
did
should
in West
redo
Virginia.
it. Maybe I should redo it.
You did not here.
Well, so here it said if I wanted to lose weight, then I needed to keep my calories at about like 1,800 a day. And yeah, so I guess like I'm going to redo it and ask like because I feel like I did, but I'm not 100% sure, but saying this is how much I work out and what do I need to do to lose weight?
And I will say the reason I asked you that was because I do believe that even in West Virginia, you and I realized that was a big revelation. We realized that we were dumping like almost a cup of olive oil in to mix up our vegetables and like the amount of calories that were added. But we also were eyeballing and guesstimating, right? We've never once had an idea of what a burger is. So we're like, oh, that's about 8 ounces. So cool. Like, but we actually measured the burgers last night. And that's what was interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, West Virginia is when I first started, like I would like measure out the olive oil because I'm like, oh, olive oil is healthy. I do that in lemon for salad dressing. Yee. And I always do feta cheese, but I eat tons of salads. It's healthy. And then when I actually measured out what a tablespoon was, I'm like, holy crap. Like I'm pouring, a cup on, a half a cup, or feta cheese, like one serving is this amount. And you put that serving on and you realize like I'm doing 3-4 times that. And so it was eye-opening for me to be like, okay, like you're eating healthy, but your portions are so much bigger. You're adding so much more that, again, doesn't matter if you're not trying to lose weight, but it does matter if you are trying to lose weight, right? And so that helps like put things in perspective and like help me eyeball things. So we just got the scale. And so we were doing buffalo burgers and I asked
bison
or
burgers.
bison. Isn't that the same thing? Bison, buffalo?
I think they're different.
I feel like they're
a bison and a buffalo. I think they're different species. Could be wrong. Interesting.
I feel like they're the same.
I'll look it up. ChatGPT will tell me.
ChatGPT tells us everything. So I asked my friend, my health coach, ChatGPT, like how much protein and how many calories are in a buffalo burger or bison burger, whatever. And it said a 4-ounce burger has, I think it was like 180 to 220 calories, and then like 22 to 24 grams of protein. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, what's 4 ounces? And so we actually measured it and put it on the scale. And again, I was shocked.
I have boogers in my nose bigger than that.
Yeah, it was small.
Yeah.
It was
a slider.
But again, okay. It was way smaller than I thought because, again, when you don't know, you don't know. So now I have a different understanding of like what is 4 ounces of meat, and this is how much protein and calories average are in this. But my version of 4 ounces was like a half-pound Whopper. Like I thought like that was, like I didn't think it was that small.
Buddy, listen to what you just said.
I know. But you get what I mean. Like I didn't think it was that small. So seeing that and putting that into perspective was eye-opening of like, wow, okay, if we wouldn't have weighed it, I probably would have had double the size at least without even really thinking about it and not knowing what I was actually eating, right? So I feel like the scale and being comfortable with your measurements is really, really important in the beginning. Now, again, I don't feel like it's something to get obsessed with.
No.
It's something to eye and to become familiar with so that you can start gauging what you're actually eating versus what you think you're eating. That's the kicker.
I would also draw a line to say, like, for me, I actually found that quite interesting. And I would want to be measuring what our meats are and things like that. Just for my own. I mean, I made 2 5-ounce burgers last night. So you had 4. I had 5.1s. Like, so it was a total of like 18 ounces in the package, which was interesting because it came out to that. Anyway, that's what it said on the back, the package. And so, like, I actually found that quite interesting. And I wondered too, the conditioning of like our burgers were always smaller than what you would get in a restaurant. Right. So I always assumed, wow, it's way healthier because it's a lot smaller, but it's so funny, the conditioning of, like you said, you look at the burgers you eat in a restaurant and they're massive, right? Their entire plate. And so when you saw that 4-ounce, you're like, there's appetizers bigger than this.
Right.
And so that's kind of an interesting thing. But I don't find it obsessive. Me personally, it can be, but I think that's also just what you define it as. It's very neutral, but it's also like, I actually found that quite interesting. And I was excited to go and like measure, even though I'm not saying, oh, it's got to be this. And if it's 2 ounces off, then I got to pull it off and blah, blah, blah. I just find it interesting to see what I think is a good portion. Is it double, triple? Like,
yeah. And I think it's empowering to know what you're eating. Because again, as somebody who wants to lose weight, I'm just saying like, oh, I eat super clean and this is probably this and this is probably like, but to actually see it and to know it, you're like, holy crap. Like I have cherries every single night. I feel it's like my thing. And you do your grapes. Like it's something we look forward to. We have the same routine every night. We have our dinner. We watch a show together, cherries, grapes. I go to bed typically. Like, but that's our thing. So I actually measured out, I fill my bowl with cherries. I measured out a cup of cherries. So 1 cup of cherries has 200 calories. Okay. So again, you're eating cherries, but it's still sugar. It's still, calories. And I was like, wow, okay. So I probably double this. So I probably eat about 400 calories of cherries before I go to bed, all the sugar. So it's like being aware of it. Cause now it's like, okay, I know half of that bowl is about a cup. So that's what I'm going to aim for moving forward. I'm
good.
I just think it's really helpful for me to really see that. And last night for dinner, I ended up just having that 4-ounce and I didn't do bread. I just ate it, which again, for me is like, I enjoy it because it tastes really good. I just eat it with a fork and knife. I put jalapenos. You put a half a piece of cheese, right? And then some onion. I just had that and then like some cabbage salad and I was full.
Yeah. Well, I always thought it was funny too. I think it was Nate Bargatze, whatever that comedian.
Yeah.
Remember where he said like his friend or whoever was like getting really strict with their diet and talking about fruits and like, because every one of these diets now are like insane. The carnivore diet, there's a diet for every day of the week. And obviously it boils down to like what works well for you as a person and what you connect to. But like, you tell people like, oh, I'm on I'm watching what I eat and I'm eating a bunch of fruit. And like people are like, oh my God, it's the worst thing ever. Like people will say that water's bad. It's like whatever you find. But he said that his friend, I can't remember how he put it, where he's like, he got like frozen fruit and then they were all like making fun of him how bad it was. And he said like, show me the obese guy that like has a whole bunch of fruit in his shopping basket and all like, Be like,
Right,
don't think
obviously,
that's
it's
your
not the
problem. It's not
fruit.
your fruit.
That's not the problem.
Right.
100%. Like, again, it's not the cherries. It's, the going out to eat all the time, the drinking, But I was talking to Brie today, getting my hair done. So she did the carnivore diet. So speaking of that, and I'm like, okay, what exactly is that? I've heard about it. I know it's a lot of meat, but like, what are you doing? Because she did it for 3 months and she lost 30 pounds, which I'm like, that's insane. But it's no fruits, no vegetables.
Brooke was doing that, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No fruits, no vegetable. She's like, I was literally eating like a ribeye every night and dipping the ribeye in butter. And I'm like, that sounds amazing. With like 2 eggs on the side. And so it's high fat and then like animal protein. And so I'm like, well, why don't you do vegetables or fruits? Like, what's the reason behind that? And she was like, well, like from what I understand, and this really does make sense, but they're like, the vegetables and fruits in the US have so many pesticides and just like chemicals and just crap. And they're like the genetically modified that it's just like garbage, right? It's not like you're, eating fresh picked strawberries from, Europe or something. Like it's different. And I do know that, like the stuff, that's why I always tell you, like, we have to wash our produce. Like, and so the carnivore diet guy, his idea is like, you don't cut all of that out. And so she lost 30 pounds. Like now she's doing more keto where she does have fruits and vegetables again and just kind of lower carb, whatever.
She still looked 30 pounds lighter? Or has it come on?
She looks great. She didn't. Actually didn't ask that question. That's a good question.
How fast it came back on?
She didn't say that, but I'm also like, okay, but eating a ribeye dipped in butter every night can't be like that healthy. Like I don't know. Like, but again, it's like different things work for different people.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to just like find what works for you. And what makes you feel good. And for me, like I know that when I cut out carbs, and again, not cutting out carbs because carbs are fuel, especially if you're active, I don't think carbs are a bad thing.
No.
I mean more like eating a lot of bread, eating, pita. Like I'm a pita and hummus girl. Like for me, like that's like my weakness. Like I would have pita and hummus for a snack every day or whatever. Like that kind of stuff. Or, the Cheez-Its and the processed stuff. When I cut carbs, and I cut alcohol and dessert, I always feel so good.
100%.
So good.
I've never felt better.
So good.
No, totally. I mean, it's like obviously the brain fog, but too, like you said, there's no way you can wake up at 5 a.m, go to an F45, come home, go to a 10-hour job where you're thinking on your feet, moving patients. I have to pee so bad. Like it's painful.
Okay, I can tell.
And like carbs help you run that. Like your brain doesn't function. So like that's why I think the whole thing is, again, it's about consistency, just like everything in this world, in my opinion. The amount of time you can do it consistently is going to show an effect, whether that's building a business, working out, whatever you want to call it, right? Mm-hmm. And so if you're dreading it, you're not going to be consistent. If the thought of eating steak and butter every single day makes you cringe and want to throw up, like you're not going to be consistent with it. So it doesn't matter if that diet's working for Joe, Sarah, and Bill and Steve and whatever. But like what we've done, I actually look forward to dinner every night. Like I was a guy that loved tortillas. I love that whole process, right? But like the fajita bowls that we've now created are literally my favorite thing. I'm so excited and pumped to have it tonight. God, me too. And I can't wait to have it for lunch tomorrow. So that is a healthier version of stuff that I like, that is very clean, portion controlled, and I freaking can't wait. So obviously I'm going to be more consistent, which is going to cause me to lose the weight.
So for our fajita bowls, instead of doing with the wraps, we do the chicken and the fajita seasoning, and then just like grilling it up. And then we do mushroom, pepper, onion, and jalapenos, pickled jalapenos. What takes it to the next level for me, and then you can say what takes it to the next level for you. I'm obsessed with this buffalo sauce, the Primal Kitchen. No, I just drink. I use the food as a vehicle to get me the buffalo sauce because it is so freaking good. So I put some of that on there and it literally takes it to the next level. It's filling. It's delicious. Good protein because it's just a chicken breast. And it's my favorite meal that we have right now. It's in the rotation like once or twice a week.
So I found an all natural salsa, and then I'll do, instead of the buffalo sauce, I'll do a tablespoon and a half of salsa, and then I sprinkle a little sriracha on top of that. But the biggest thing I found was I would do a tablespoon and a half of cottage cheese and then mix it all in. Oh my God. Like, it's got that sour, creamy kind of feel, but it's a protein add. It gives it that cheesy flavor like you would see in fajitas. Mm-hmm. Oh, dude. Yeah, you're obsessed. Money, money, money.
Yeah. I'll say the last thing I wanted to say. Do you want to break to go pee?
Go.
Are you sure?
I can stand.
I'm going to leave the mic on.
I can stand and do the rest. I'm the one that edits it.
Like you kind of like circling back to the whole, like, I'm never going to be somebody who has, you know, a 12 pack because I'm not willing to do what it takes to live that lifestyle because we love traveling and we love eating and we love going out and having a drink and just like talking and stuff. So I think also what we're doing right now is very sustainable just because what we're doing right now, I enjoy. Like, I enjoy the food. I enjoy the movement. Like, this is how we normally anyways, we're just not doing anything extra. The only thing is like, and again, doing this because we're both on a mission to be our healthiest and also to lose some weight, right? But also gauging, okay, what are the results after being super, super strict? What are the results, right? Because you can really start to see, you know, what's working, what's not. But then when we get back from, or even in Peru, coming back from Peru, reevaluating, like, cool, like, it's not sustainable to be like, we're never, ever going to have alcohol again. Mm-hmm. We're never, ever, ever going to not have a soda again. That's also not a life that I'm interested in living. So it's like, you know, knowing that what we're doing right now isn't sustainable in that way. It's for a period of time until we can like gather some information and then make some changes when we get back of like, okay, how do you want to do this now?
I agree. Totally.
Because we do enjoy those things. Yep. Or ordering a pizza and watching our Netflix. Like, those are all things like I love.
I will order a pizza before I'll drink a soda.
Yeah, to be honest, in this moment sitting here right now, I don't miss soda.
No.
It's very chemically tasting, which again, I love a Diet Pepsi, but I just, now I'm like, ew, like, didn't let it taste like chemicals. And I don't miss alcohol. Like, I just don't. Like, I know there's been a couple of times after we've had a hike that you're like, oh, I would love to go grab a beer. Yeah. And you totally could have, but I was like, I'm not going to, because for me, following through these 7 weeks and staying super disciplined just to keep that promise to myself, but also see the results that I get is the most important thing. So I'm not interested in that. But of course, when we get back, there will be times like I love going for a hike and going and having a local beer.
I love doing a flight with you after a hike. It's a lot of fun. And then choosing my favorite one out of that and sitting there and just kind of being in the brewery environment with Mimi it's a vibe. Sitting outside. It's a vibe, especially in Colorado.
Yeah. So we'll kind of reevaluate once we get back. But this is what we're doing now until we leave for Peru. And I already feel amazing. I feel energized. I feel like my bloating's gone down. Like, I just feel great. Honestly, totally. I feel great.
Me too.
So, anything else you want to say? Because now you don't care because you have to pee so bad.
No, I was just saying it's kind of funny because we ended up just talking about the one topic. We had multiple things to say.
But we can talk about the next one next week.
Let's do it.
How about we do that? Right? Because that's also, Okay, cool. Yeah. So
remember it.
That was the one topic. We're like, we have multiple topics. Yeah. Who knew we were going to talk about this for so long? But
it felt good.
I was going to share the pills we were taking too, because I feel like.
Just touch on it next week.
Okay. Oh, it's not. I'll just do it real quick. I always like to be super transparent, but I got sucked into an Instagram ad.
Oh my.
Now, granted, I don't know if these are good for you or not. They say they are, but they're a healthy way. They're called Veracity Metabolism Ignite. and it's supposed to be for, it's like a natural GLP-1, which is like the Ozempics and stuff. So, which I guess it just activates the GLP-1 in your body, which speeds up your metabolism. It makes you crave less and it makes you not as hungry. So it's all natural. And it's supposed to kind of simulate that whole thing, but without any of the other stuff that comes along with it. So anyways, they got me on an Instagram ad. They sucked me in. And we started taking these. You take 2 tablets a day.
Well, it's kind of interesting because, to be honest with you, I don't have cravings for sugar.
I don't either. So do you think it's the pills?
Now that you said that, and I don't have cravings for soda, and I don't have cravings for pizza, and I'm not even that hungry.
No. Compared to what I usually am.
That's very true.
So do you think it's the pills?
Very much could be.
And they say, okay, somebody's like, I'm hungry, bitch. It's time to eat.
She's 45 minutes over her dinner time.
Yeah. So they also say these are something you could take long term. If there's no like harmful side effects, like I guess with Ozempic, if you get off of it, you'll gain the weight right back or whatever. I don't know a lot about it. I'm not a freaking expert in it. But this is all what I learned from my Instagram ad. And
so we're trying it.
So, so we've been taking these as well with everything else. And maybe these are magic pills. Maybe that's why we're not. Because I've been surprised because I am eating a lot more protein. So it's probably a mix of all of the things. But I'm like, I'm really not as hungry as I used to be.
Well, and I'm not. And I'm usually one of the ravenous. I'm ravenous. And yeah, I have my periods where if I don't eat around the time that we normally eat.
I'm hungry right now.
Oh, I'm starving right now.
Yeah.
I have to eat.
So Veracity.
All right.
Check it out. All right. We'll leave it there and we'll pick back up the other thing we wanted to talk about next week.
Yeah.
So have a good week. Coming out with us over on Instagram at Kim and Aaron G. Oh, and we still have that open spot for Peru and Oaxaca. If you're interested, reach out.
Let's go, man.
Let's freaking go, bro.
Dude, it's baller group for Peru. It's going to be an amazing trip. We got one freaking spot. One spot.
Yes.
Like, let's go. And then Oaxaca, we have 2 spots. So bring it.
Let's go, bro. Let's do it. All right. We'll see y'all next week.
Bye. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode, and we hope that you really, really enjoyed it.
And if you did love this episode, can you please do us a huge favor and just share this with one of your friends? Like, just somebody that you think will get value from this episode. It would mean so much to us.
Yeah, like do it now. Like while you're inspired, go now.
Like right this second.
Yeah,
go. Or just like share it on your Instagram story and tag us at Kim and Aaron G so that we can see it and thank you personally for helping us share this message, share this episode, and blow this baby up.
Yeah, help spread the obsession.
Ooh.
You can do that.
Let's get obsessed.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Thank you so much. We are so grateful to be on this journey with you, and we will see you next week.
Bye.